Hi and welcome back for a new video. Today I'm creating 3 artist trading coins and I'm starting by creating the background, and I'm using Distress Oxide Inks. I have cut the circles from the Canson XL watercolor paper and they are measuring 2.5 inches. When I work with Distress Oxides or also Distress inks, I always use a piece of a baking mat because the inks don't really work on a glass plate. When you use them on a glass plate, the ink will run together to one big puddle when you spritz it with water, and here on the baking mat you get these tiny drops and you can create that nice background texture. I'm starting with the darkest color I've picked. It's the Wilted violet. And before I go in with the next layer, I will always use my heat tool to dry the first one because I don't want to mix the colors. You will find, as always, my blog post linked up in the video description, and there you can see the close-up images of the finished project. In this video, I will also try out the Arteza TwiMakers to color in my stamped images. Arteza was so kind and sent them to me, a very big set. I believe there are about 100 or 100, I believe, Twimarkers in this set, and they are really amazing. I was really surprised, and I thought this would be more kind of a stationary thing. But you can really use it for stamp coloring because it blends really beautiful with water. They also blend with each other, of course, and I will show this to you in a minute. For the background of my coins, I used the Wilted violet, the picked raspberry and the mustard seed, and the reason for that is simply that I like to have complementary colors on my background, and this is the violet and the yellow, and I just add in some of the pink to get more variation. I also keep some white space. This is, in my opinion, very important to get a higher contrast and more interest. My backgrounds are drying. I will color in the stamped images, and you can see that I have made color swatches with the numbers of the colors so I can pick the ones that I want to have. They came in a big plastic packaging, which is not very comfortable. It's different from some of their other packagings. If you compare them to the real brush pens, they came in this gorgeous box where you can pull them out and in, and where you can travel with. And also their pencils come in a metallic tin. This one is not something you want to keep, so I add these pens into a basket, and now of course I have to search for the right color. The colors work great, but you have to use the right paper for them. The color swatches are made on, I believe it's a 200 GSM printer paper, and you have to be very careful with every paper except from the Canson XL. I tried all Arteza papers. I tried bristle paper and I tried that copy paper, and whenever you go in with the felt tip of the pen, you will get some, I don't know the word for it in English, little bits and pieces of the paper coming off. And the only paper where this doesn't happen is the Canson XL. But that might be the reason why I don't like the Canson for watercoloring, because it's so smooth and almost a little bit I also don't know how to describe this. The water doesn't sink into it immediately, and you also it swims on the paper very long, and I think that is the reason why these markers work so great on this paper. It's the same with the real brush pens from Arteza. The best blending you will get on the Canson XL paper. And today I want to use different techniques for blending. I will use the blender pen that is in the set, and it works pretty fine. You can see it here. And I will also use a water brush to blend in. And the difference is just with the water brush you have more water and you get even more watercolory effect with it. To color in the stamped images, I've used the same colors I have already on the background. I used a purple, a yellow, and not a real pink, but I would say kind of an apricot color. And I really like the many colors you get in the set. It's awesome for stamp coloring. You can blend each marker with the other, and you can use water to blend them, and they are really pretty. I prefer them against the real brush pens because you can go into some more detailed images, as you have it's a harder tip and it's a little bit finer. And the fine liner is also great to make some own details to the stamped image. I didn't do this here, but I have colored in some flowers and leaves, and I added the veins of the leaves with the fine liner side. The stamps I'm using here are from my brand new stamp set, the Celestial stamp set, and the new stamps are all up in my store, and I will link you in the video description, of course, and they are 10% off until next Sunday, the 19th. And I also have a 10% coupon code for you from Arteza, and you can use these on their website, and you will also find the discount code in my video description. In case you don't have any of their markers and you are interested in, compare the real brush pens and the Twimarkers. I think you don't need both. If you are a bullet journaler, I definitely would recommend the Twimarkers because you can use them for planner stuff and to color in stamps. And you have two different tip sizes, which is great. And the real brush pens are also really beautiful, and they are more on the artsy side when you want to create paintings. I personally prefer the Twimarkers because they are so great for all these stuff. I use them in my bullet journal, I use them for color in stamped images, and it's a really easy and quick way to color those in. I tried these markers also on Bristol paper, and it works good as long as you don't go back and forth with your pen. Just go in one direction and color in quickly, and they work super good. They also blend, but you don't want to go back and forth and back and forth. That will ruin the paper. And as I said, the only paper that can deal with it is that Canson XL. As I don't have any other markers, felt markers like these, I have no comparison, so I can't tell you if this will happen with every marker with the paper. So I don't believe that it's a problem of the marker, it's more a problem of the paper. I will cut all these images out and then stick them to my backgrounds on the Artist trading coins. And I have already stamped some stars to the ATC coins. I used, I believe, also the Distress Oxide Inks. It looks like as if I used the picked raspberry, and I stamped some stars. They come also with the stamp set. And here I'm inking up the edges in black to make the colors pop even more. I also used the sentiment that comes with the set and cut the words apart and adhered them together with a main image onto my Artist trading coins. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!